YouTube, it's your boy Alvin MB10 aka AMR10, and what I got for today is some more NBA 2K23 Next Gen. Now, more specifically, what I have for you today happens to be the best SGA aka Shai Gilgeous-Alexander build on NBA 2K23 Next Gen, and let's just say this build is a two-way 3-level scorer because it does come with shooting, gold slithery finisher, i.e. an 89 plus driving layup, playmaking to the point of getting gold quick first step, and then also it gets an 86 perimeter as well as an 86 steal and comes with pro contact dunks. Now, check this build all the way through because this is a special build, and I do gotta say shout out to all of you because this was a requested build down below in the comments, and I did have fun making this because as most of you know, I am a big SGA fan. Now, as most of you know, he is the starting shooting guard, right-handed, jersey number 2 for the Oklahoma City Thunder, paired up in the backcourt with none other than Josh Giddey. Ironically, Shai's been dropping a bunch of 30, 40-point games throughout this season, which is kind of special in my opinion. Height-wise, he is 6'6" while weighing 195 pounds, which makes him a bit small in frame. Wingspan apparently comes in at about 6'11". And then when it comes to body shape, I would personally go with something like slight or compact. Yeah, we're gonna go with compact because the truth is the boy is kind of muscular, but he's not muscular enough where you can say he's the average defined. Now, before we get into the skill breakdown for this build, I do gotta say it's a big old shout out to all of you because a lot of you have been showing a lot of support to the channel, and it is really appreciated because obviously there's a lot of people thinking that NBA 2K23 is dying. Me personally, I am still enjoying the game somewhat, and I am still enjoying making these videos. It is what it is, you know what I'm saying? It's a good game. But I also do gotta say, if you like today's video and you want to see more content like this, do me a favor, go ahead and hit that like button because it always does help in telling us what type of videos you guys want to see on the channel. Don't forget to drop a comment, tell me what you think about the build, whether you like it or hate it, because that also does help with me understanding what you guys think of the builds. For example, last week I was informed that Bully technically only works on driving layups, in which case you will now notice I am not strapping Bully on majority of builds, just because the truth of it is, unless it's you going to the hoop against someone smaller than you, very rarely will you ever try and go for a driving layup, in which case is there really a need for Bully. And also, don't forget to share the video because it does help with the YouTube algorithm and helps with getting these videos out there so that more people can see them and helps growing the channel, because the more we grow the channel, the more I can make these builds and max it out, because we just put up a poll on the channel where I basically asked which build you want to see us max out next season, either Trace McGrady or Ja Morant. Whatever build you guys vote on, the revenue we managed to get from the channel last month, we're going to put it all into that build and try and get it maxed out as soon as possible. And also, if you're new to the channel and you ain't done so yet, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as turn post notifications on, just because that does help a lot and helps us in growing this community as much as I want to. Now, first things first, as per usual, we got to get the physicals out the way. We decided to go with an 85 XL, 80 speed split on this build, just because as most of you know, XL happens to be one of the most key attributes in this game. When it came to strength, I decided to go to 45. This was more due to me having spare points than me actually wanted to put strength on this build. Originally went to a 35. Stamina put this up to a 90 because you will be using this build quite a lot. And then we put the vertical up to a 70 because we aimed to get at least pro contact dunks on this build, mainly because we couldn't get small contact dunks due to us being 6'6", and we couldn't get elite contact dunks because they take a lot of badge points. And as most of you know, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, one of the most talented young stars out there. Now, to round up the interior game, we decided, as I said before, to go with an 89 driving layup because it does allow us to get gold slithery, fearless finisher, and acrobat, as well as Hall of Fame pro touch and giant slayer. Then a 75 when it comes to the close shot because it allows us to get silver masher as well as silver fast twitch. And then obviously on the driving dunk, you got to go with an 85 to be able to get that pro contact dunks. Now, as you can see, you also get gold aerial wizard, silver post rise, and silver limitless takeoff. I would personally core limitless takeoff, and I'll probably put on slithery finisher just because I just ran some games with Samuel. You'll hopefully see the gameplay of that on Wednesday, and I really deep what limitless takeoff can do for builds. So if I were you, I'd run it. But yeah, you do finish with a grand total of 18 total finishing badge points, which is a nice little split and does allow you the capabilities of being able to core badges. Biggest tip when making builds, always make sure you finish with at least 17 badge points, because that way you can core majority of tier 3 badges to actual gold, in which case I'd core slithery, my bad, and put on limitless. And then when it came to shooting, we decided to give him a decent amount of a clip because he does have one. We gave him an 84 when it came to the mid-range jump shot because that's where he usually makes the majority of his bread and butter, as well as finishing at the cup. And then when it came to the 3-ball, I decided to go with an 82 because it does allow you to get gold catch and shoot, as well as gold corner specialist and silver deadeye. And then on the free throw side of it, you will be wanting to take this build into the rec or maybe the pro-am, in which case you will need at least a 79 free throw. Now this does allow you to finish with 23 total shooting badge points. Good thing here, you managed to get Hall of Fame slippery off ball, which in my personal opinion is kind of clutch, as well as space creator. You also get the capability of being able to core blinders and slap on deadeye on this build, as well as one of the other tier 3 badges. And then you can rank out the others that you see best. Now, playmaking wise, as you can guess, I would have tried to get at least an 89 on this build to get Hall of Fame quick first step, but I wanted to keep this as ambidextrous and as versatile as Shai is, so we decided to go with an 85 because it gets us that gold quick first step, a 76 when it comes to the speed because it does get us that extra little badge point, and then when it comes to pass accuracy, decided to go with an 80 because even though his assist numbers aren't super high, mainly because Josh Giddey's playing the 1, Shai has a really innate ability for moving the ball around, so you do gotta respect it. Now, as you can see, we do finish with 20 playmaking badge points. Key thing here is I would run something along the lines of killer combos. And also, you know what I'm saying, I might run some clamp breaker because these two badges right here are kind of clutch when really messing around. And then obviously you gotta slap on hyperdrive, quick first step. You might want to consider unpluckable. I'm not too sure if I run it on my point guard build at the moment, but that's mainly because unless you're in the rec, you're really not facing up against lockdowns. That often rec and pro-am is where you mainly see them. And then defensively, to round up the build and make it as elite as possible, we decided to go with an 86 when it came to the perimeter defense and 86 when it came to the steal, meaning you do get the capability of getting gold challengers, silver clamps, silver glove, and silver interceptor on this build. And then we also went with a 72 when it came to the block just because we couldn't get a 75. Hold on, I messed something up real quick. It is most likely right there, you know what I'm saying? This should be down to a 42. But yeah, 72 on the block and a 55 on the interior defense, which does allow you the capabilities of getting silver chase star artists. Now, as most of you know, you need a 75 block in order to be able to get gold. And unfortunately on this build, because of the height and wingspan, we can only get it to a 74, in which case I saw no need in putting it that high. However, the 55 interior defense does mean we can stay a little bit of a, you know what I'm saying, we can be a little bit of a beast on the perimeter. Me personally speaking, I would run something along the lines of silver ankle braces, put on workhorse at Hall of Fame just because you can get really into it. That puts you at 6 badge points, and then from there I probably run one of the maybe chase star artist. Then with the last 9 badge points, I am coring challenger and probably slapping on glove, and then I'm putting +3 from the badge points that you do get for playing my career, and I'm putting on interceptor. Clamps is one of those badges that this year I like, there's no real need to run it. I remember I was having a discussion with Wolfgang Down when I was playing the game, and yeah, it's not one of those badges that you necessarily need to chase. And as you can see, we do finish with 1939, 4262, 80 total badge points on this build before we get the +4 from playing the My Career games, which means we do finish with 84 total badge points on this SGA build, and it is quite versatile. This is a spectacular build for what I'm saying. Now, for the very first takeover, the very first thing I would go with is most likely something along the lines of advanced gathers, mainly because I have seen Shai when he's getting to the hoop, and that boy can really finish when it comes, you know what I'm saying, that ability to finish at the cup with layups, impeccable. And then for the secondary take, just because of how you most likely want to play with this build, now actually in respect to Shai's game, I would go with extreme clamps. Now, if someone else might elect to, for the sake of playing outside and things like the park and the rec, I'd say slap on limitless range. But me personally speaking, if we want to keep it true to Shai, we got to go advanced gathers for the first take, and the secondary take extreme clamps because the boy can't play defense at a different clip. Now, the players we do get in the shades of for this build happen to be DeJounte Murray, Eddie Jones, Bradley Beal. I didn't watch Eddie Jones play like that because low-key the man was drafted before I even was born. DeJounte I have been watching since he got drafted. Bradley, I've been doing the same thing. I would say DeJounte Murray here is the closest thing to SGA. Bradley Beal is the furthest thing just because Bradley Beal is more of a scorer when it comes to shooting. DeJounte Murray and SGA have that thing of they love to finish at the cup to get the majority of their points, and then they do play around the mid-range as well as spotting up from 3. Now, as you can see, as promised, this is a 2-way 3-level score, which makes it quite impeccable. And hopefully, you guys rate this build, which if you do and you like what you see from the build, do me a favor, go and leave that down below in the comments. If you enjoyed today's video and you want to see more content like this, don't forget to hit that like button. We are aiming for at least 30 to 50 likes on this video because it does help a lot. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel and you ain't done so yet, also hit that subscribe button as well as turning post notifications on. And we will see you on Wednesday. Yeah, it's been your boy Alvin MB10, aka AMR10. Deuces.